What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Board Games Are For Everybody, where today we're going to be doing a solo playthrough of Wingspan. I have wanted to do a solo playthrough of this for quite a while, pretty much since we got the game a couple years ago, and it's just something that didn't happen. I just never ended up going through the solo rules. But within the last few days, I've really gotten into the game for some reason. I've really wanted to be playing it again. And I think part of that is just from the ease of access, from being able to play it on Board Game Arena. This is going to be my third game within the last 2 days that we're going to be doing Wingspan. I've been playing quite a bit. Well, I'm sure there are people who play it more often than 3 times in 2 days, but for me that's quite a bit to play a game a few times within a couple days. So I figured, while I have the drive to play the game, we're gonna learn the solo mode finally. Now, I didn't read through the rules. However, I did pull up a video on YouTube about the rules. I cross-referenced with the comment section to make sure everything was accurate. And for the most part it was, but I think I have a pretty decent understanding of how it works. So we're gonna see how it goes. I have everything set up, and I think it's gonna be easier to just kind of explain stuff as I go, opposed to trying to explain how the AI works beforehand. So we're just gonna hop right into it. If I do end up getting any rules wrong, this is the first time I'm doing solo, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too bad, but we'll see. We'll see. So let's just hop right into it. First things first, we need to decide what cards we want to keep in our hand. Now, the first round goal is eggs in that certain kind of nest. My terminology is going to be really bad for this game. The different type of nests I never remember. I know the nest box obviously is the one that actually looks like a nest. The platform nest is the one that looks like a bundle of sticks on top of just a platform. Maybe it's an enclosure one. Maybe it's an enclosure one. That must be what it is. That would make sense. So our round one goal is eggs on birds with enclosure nests. So we'll have to see which birds we have that have enclosure nests. This one does, so we're gonna want to try and keep that one. It's also an easy one to get out, requiring either a caterpillar or a rat. We can use either of them, which is nice. Also, placing into the forest is beneficial because it'll allow us to get food quicker, which is always nice. We don't have any other cards that have enclosures, so that's not useful. But do we have anything else we could keep? We could either go with the Northern Cardinal, which, when activated, we would gain 1 berry, so that's going to gain us extra food. That's not terrible. Or we can go with the American Redstart, which, when activated, will gain us any food from the supply. This might actually be the better one to go with. It's also worth more points, but it holds less eggs. But being able to take anything from the bird feeder is actually pretty nice. So I think we're going to stick with this one as well. And we're going to discard the rest. So we're keeping 2 birds. We're just going to move our eggs off to the side here so that we can form a discard pile down here. We're going to keep the 2 birds, which means we need to discard 2 food in order to keep those. We need a caterpillar or a rat for the owl, and we need a caterpillar and a berry for the redstart. So it looks like we're keeping caterpillar, rat, and berry, and this is going to be our starting hand for the game. Now, the automated AIs goal card is Large Bird Specialist, birds with over wingspans of 65 centimeters. So if they ever get things that allow them to draw birds, they will prioritize anything that has a wingspan higher than 65, and they will then take the one that scores the most and discard any extra ones. So I guess I have to pick my bonus card. I don't get 2 bonus cards. The ones that we have, birds with a wingspan of 30 centimeters or less, 20, 51, so it's only 1 and 1. Birds that have at least 4 eggs laid on them, 1 per bird. Neither of our current birds can hold 4 eggs. That's not to say we won't get birds with 4 eggs. I think we're going to go with the Passerine Specialist, birds with a wingspan of 30 centimeters or less. This is going to be discarded. I think it's actually supposed to go back to the bottom of the deck, but we're not going to get to the bottom of the deck, so I don't think it matters all that much. Okay, we are now ready to start. Seeing as we're doing solo, we get to start first, so nothing too special about that. We are going to start... Oh, actually, you know what? We are in round 1, but we'll go over it here. For the automated player, they do have a bunch of bonuses depending on what round we're in and which of these bonus goals is up. I think that's the correct way to word it. Currently, since we are doing eggs in enclosed nests, they start with one cube. Well, they start with 1 egg. Basically, they would start with 1 cube on that. So when we do the end of round scoring for that bonus, they automatically have 1 egg already. So that's a bit of a pain, but it could be worse. So we just have to make sure that we have more than 1 egg. Plus they could possibly get additional eggs, but we'll get to that when we get there. So we're going to start off. We're going to play, I think we're going to play the Eastern Screech Owl right off. And we're just going to get it onto the field. So we need to use the rat for the Eastern Screech Owl so that we still have the caterpillar and the berry for our red start. So we're going to place them into the forest. We are placing a bird. Don't have to pay any eggs for the first line, obviously. However, we are going to need eggs to start going this way now, which I should have thought of before I picked a second bird that had to go into the forest. I have no eggs. I have no eggs. That's okay, though. We can get eggs to put them onto our enclosure owl, so that'll be useful. So that's our first turn complete. So for the AI player, we're going to draw from this top card here, and we're going to place it to cover up that round 2 on the other side. So since we are in round 1, we follow the top here. They are going to draw 1 card and keep it face down. This is a face down card. They aren't drawing a bird, but they're drawing a card. And at the end of the game, depending on what difficulty you're playing on, those face down cards are going to score a certain amount of points. Now, we are going to be playing on the easy difficulty since this is the first solo game that we're playing. So every face down card that the AI player ends up with is going to be worth 3 points at the end of the game. 3 points. If you play on medium, they are worth 4 points. If you play on hard, they're worth 5 points. I believe that's right, 3, 4, 5. But we're going to be playing on the easy difficulty for our first game here. So they are going to be worth 3 points each at the end of the game. They also get to add a cube to the bonus round track. So they now have 2 eggs inside of enclosed spaces. So we now need 2 eggs at the end of the round in order to get first place for that bonus, to get that extra 4 points. And that is the opponent's turn. Simple as that. It's pretty standard as it goes. We do have these reference cards over here, should we need them, about all... Oh, they're only one-sided. We do have these reference cards, should we need them, about all the different actions that the opponent can play. But I think we are good to go pretty well as far as rules go until the end of this round. That's pretty much how a turn goes for both players. Now, they haven't drawn anything. Well, they drew a card, but they haven't drawn any birds, so we won't worry about explaining that again until we get to it. But that's going to bring us to our second turn. Obviously, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining how this is working. I just partially know how it works. So this certainly isn't a tutorial. We're just playing the game, but I do want to try and give people who may not have played solo some of an understanding so you know what's going on. So for my second cube here, I can't play my red start because I don't have any eggs to put them into the second slot. So I think we're just going to take some eggs for our second turn here, and we're going to put those onto our Screech Owl. So we now have 2 eggs on our Screech Owl. We are now tied with the opponent for amount of eggs in enclosed nests. So we're definitely going to need our red start in order to continue on with that. I need something to go down here in order to just place some more stuff out. And we do need more birds with a wingspan of less than 30, which the only one that has that is the sparrow on the board currently. However, that's our turn. We won't worry about that until we come to our next turn. So the opponent is going to... They're going to be drawing another face down card. So our opponent already has 6 points, and we're only on turn 2 of the first round. And they're also losing a cube from their track. So they are now back down to 1 egg. So we are currently in first place for that bonus. So I'm not going to complain about that. Coming back to our turn, we're now going to play that red start. So we're going to use our caterpillar and our berries. We also need to pay 1 egg. And we are going to be placing that red start right there. We're now out of food. We are now out of cards in our hands. So these next few turns is going to be resupplying, getting some more eggs, and possibly, hopefully, getting some birds. So, AI's next turn. So, this one here, they're going to be taking food from the round track, and this little bar here indicates what order they potentially take that food in. Now, back here, you can see we don't have a caterpillar wheat split, so they won't be taking that. However, there is a caterpillar in the board, in the bird feeder. So they will take the caterpillar, and we'll just put it there for now. They will take the caterpillar out of the bird feeder. If there were more than 1 caterpillar in the bird feeder, they would take all of the caterpillars that are in the bird feeder. Likewise, for any of the other tokens that they would take, if there are multiple of that particular resource, they take all of them from the bird feeder as they go down that track. So that is the opponent's turn. We would also activate all pink powers on our board. However, we don't currently have any pink powers on our board, so there's nothing to do for that. That is the turn for the opponent. So, coming back to us, we need to get some cards. We need to get some cards. I might take the woodpecker because we can place it into the forest. However, it requires a caterpillar and a berry to place. And the AI just took our caterpillar. That's not particularly helpful. That is not particularly helpful. But everything else also kind of requires a caterpillar, with the exception of the puffin, which needs 3 fish, which we also don't have. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to start trying to stock up on a little bit of food. And maybe the AI will shuffle all these cards for us. That would be nice, right? So I think we're just going to try and get some food to start stocking up, see if we can make a plan. We are going to take a berry because that woodpecker can use it should we need it. So we're going to take a berry. And the second food we're going to take, I think we're going to take a fish because the puffin can use a fish at least. So we'll take a fish. We now have a berry and a fish. We now get to go down our track and activate our powers. So we get to acquire 1 more dice from the bird feeder thanks to our American Red Start. And I think we're going to take the rat. Just try and spread out the amount of stuff that we have here in case something comes up. And we also get to roll all the dice not in the bird feeder. If any of them are rats, we get to cash 1 rat from the supply onto the screech owl. So let's see what we got here. I can roll on my board since there isn't anything there currently. I'm going to have to find somewhere to roll. I'm going to have to find somewhere to roll otherwise. It's all caterpillars. Once we fill our board up, we're going to have to find somewhere to roll those dice. Okay, so we did not get anything from that. That is the end of our turn. We are now moving on to the AI's next turn. So round 1, simple. They're just going to gain 1 egg. Eggs, like they will for us, are going to score them additional points at the end of the game. So we'll just put their egg over there. I hope that's still in the screen. It's kind of in the screen. Those cubes are starting to go off though, eh? Everything's kind of as far over as it can be. This is pretty big. Pretty spacious layout here. So they just gained an egg. That's all they get, just an egg. So back to us. We do have some food. We don't have a caterpillar. We could try and get more food, and it would allow us to re-roll everything. It would allow us to re-roll everything in the bird feeder. I think that might be what we do, because then we'll get 3 food thanks to our American Red Start, and we'll have a chance to cash some stuff on the owl here. We're just trying to stockpile some food so we can play something. So, in the bird feeder, if every dice that's in the bird feeder is the same resource, you are allowed to re-roll all the dice. Seeing as there is only 1 berry in there that I do not want, we're going to re-roll all the dice. All these caterpillars would be pretty nice. I wouldn't mind getting some caterpillars, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach behind to do these from the back here. We could probably do 1 by 1. 2 wheats. Oh, it fell the wrong way. Just knocking things all over the place, apparently. Okay, that's a lot of wheat. That's a lot of wheat, but that's not a bad thing because a lot of the stuff up here actually needs wheat, huh? So we get to gain 2 resources. We're going to take this wheat or caterpillar so that we can use it. It feels like focusing, not that it matters that much, but I just want to be clear. A wheat or a caterpillar, we're going to take that as a caterpillar. We're going to take a caterpillar resource. We are also going to take a wheat resource. Then we get to move down the track. We get to gain 1 dice from the bird feeder. We're going to take another wheat. So we're starting to stockpile our food here. We got a little bit. That's not too bad. And then we get to roll all the dice that are outside of the bird feeder. Any rats get cashed onto our owl. No rats. Rats. We got no rats. Alrighty, and that is that turn. It is now... got a hair on the board. The opponent's turn. Once again, they are going to be taking a food from the bird feeder, starting with rats, which there is a rat in there. So they will be taking the rats. They don't gain any actual food. It's just to prevent us from taking the food, I suppose. And again, we would be activating all of our pink powers, but we do not have any pink powers, so nothing is going to be happening there. Nothing is going to be happening there. So we are now on our turn. I think we're pretty good for food. I was kind of hoping that the opponent would end up shuffling some stuff about for us. They didn't. They didn't. So... we are going to draw a bird card. We're going to draw a bird card. And we are going to take the sparrow into our hand so that we can place it down and get some more eggs. Or would it be smarter for me to take the woodpecker? They only have 1 egg currently. So long as I get another egg on my screech owl... but they could potentially end up with something else. The woodpecker might be nice. When activated, all players lay 1 egg on any 1 enclosure bird. You may lay 1 egg on an additional enclosure bird. That could be helpful, honestly. But it would be when I'm activating food. I want to start trying to get some more eggs. I also want to try and get some water birds so that we can draw more cards, but this one also allows me to activate on anything. And I think if I were to activate the woodpecker, because we're currently doing eggs in enclosed nests, it would also give a bonus to the opponent, because that's what we're going for right now. So I think we're going to take the sparrow into our hands. Keep that over here for now. And that is going to be our turn. Oh, look at that. A pink power. The yellow-billed cuckoo. Cuckoo? Cuckoo? I don't know. However it's pronounced. I think they're cuckoo birds. Spelling, right? Language? English? Whatever language the name originated from. Enough with the rambling. Round 1, draw a bird. So for this, like we were saying before, they prioritize their bonus, which is birds with wingspans of over 65 centimeters, which there is only 1 of on this board. So I believe that even though the Atlantic puffin is worth more points, because there are birds on the board that meet its bonus requirement, it goes for the bonus instead. So it would be taking the woodpecker because it has a wingspan of 74 centimeters, which is over 65. And the puffin only has a wingspan of 53 centimeters. So I think it would take the woodpecker due to its bonus card. So this is going to stay face up in its stack of cards, because at the end of the game, unlike the face down cards where they score 3 points each, they're going to be scoring 4 points because that's how much that card is worth. So that is their turn for that turn. We replenish here. We got the black-belled whistling duck. Ducks? Is that an X? I think it's a CK. I think it's a duck. They're just really close together, so it looks like an X. What are we going to do? We do have a bunch of food here. We could play the sparrow. It would get our eggs up. And we don't have to pay any eggs to put the sparrow down, so that's nice. We are going to need to put some eggs on our bird before the round ends. Having more birds on the board is also a good thing, though. We could also take that black-belled whistling duck. It costs 2 wheat to play it down onto the board. It is also an enclosure duck, or an enclosure bird, and it'll put our water track up, which will make it easier for us to get cards. So maybe we should take the duck. What, we have 3 turns left this round? So if I were to take it, 1 turn to play it, and then 1 turn to add eggs, or I think we're going to do that. We're going to take a card. We're going to take the duck, which we're kind of foregoing our our goal here. We're trying to be focusing on cards or on birds that have wingspans of less than 30, which the sparrow does, so that's good. But the duck doesn't. But if we get this track up, we can start drawing more cards. So that is our turn, since we only have a draw power of 1 right now. The opponent is going to be drawing a dice. The only thing left in the bird feeder is a wheat, which is literally the last thing on there. So they're going to be taking that wheat. And they also get a cube on their bonus. So they are now at 2. They're now at 2 eggs on their enclosure. So I guess it's a good thing we got that duck, because having another enclosure bird is going to make it easier for us to complete that. Now, I believe the dice stay out until we actually need to roll, because things like this, where you can roll dice not in the tray, we would be able to roll all 5. So I believe they only get re-rolled once we go to roll, or to take a food resource. If that's wrong, someone let me know down below. I'm not 100% sure about that one. Oh, backwards. So it is now our turn. We are going to be playing a bird. We're going to be playing our black-belled whistling duck for the cost of, if I can pick them up here, which I can't apparently, for the cost of 2 wheat. We're going to be playing the black-belled whistling duck. Good job, us. That's our turn. That's our turn. That's all we get to do. That is all we get to do. So we're going into our opponent here. They gain an egg, but they discard 1 cube. So they're back down to having only 1 egg, and they gain a permanent egg. So that's going to be an additional point at the end of the game. So this is our last cube. I think what we decided was we need to place it to gain eggs, because we're currently tied for that first place position, which I don't want. No, I do not want that. I want those 4 points. They can take the 1 point. That's fine. We're going to take the 2 eggs. We're going to go 2 eggs, and we're going to place them onto our duck. And the opponent is going to get their final turn, which is to draw a bird card. So there currently is no... Oh, no, hold on. I was going to say there is currently no bird with a wingspan of over 65. So they would be... I believe this actually shuffles the deck, right? Take all bird cards that match bonus card. Keep the highest point valued. If none match, Automa draws 1 and keeps it face down. Oh, interesting. So because none of them match its bonus, it just takes a face down card from the deck. If none match, Automa draws 1 and keep it face down. There's something about switching stuff. End of round, flip, remove, noted card from deck. Nope, I guess not. Nothing about restructuring the... Oh no, it's when this one. Discard all 3 birds. So it's when they draw to put a card face down, it discards the tray. So we did that incorrectly. The tray should have been discarded twice at this point, but it hasn't been. So for this one, because there's no bird with a wingspan of 65 centimeters or higher, they're going to be taking a card and putting it face down. Now I'm wondering if that counts as the draw and would discard the cards. Is it just when any card goes face down? Discard all 3 bird cards from the bird tray. The Automa draws 1 and keeps it face down. If none match, Automa draws 1 and keeps it face down. But it doesn't say anything about discarding on that one. So I think it's just when we get the draw card. So we only made a slight error twice. But now we know. This is a learning process, right? This is a learning process. So we are now at the end of round 1. We are now going to calculate the bonus for round 1, which is eggs in enclosures. We currently have 3 eggs on birds with enclosures. Our opponent only has 1 since they start with 1 in round 1. Sorry, I was getting tripped up there. I was reading different things. They start with 1 egg in round 1. So 1 to 3, we succeed for that one. So we get the 4 points where they get the 1 point for the first round. We are now heading into round 2. So we need to take all of our cubes back here. We're now heading into round 2. I believe these still stay there till we roll, like we said. We do have to do some setup for round 2 with our opponents. First things first, this is going to get flipped over, so we now have the round 2 arrow. Just helps a little bit to remember stuff. There's a card in here where we need to discard it after round 1. Remove after round 1, so we're going to remove that one from the game. Are there any other remove after round 1s? Nope, that's the only one, so we're going to shuffle. And we now have our round 2 deck up and ready. We need to flip this over, so we are on the round 2 side of the bonus track. And our round 2 bonus is the player with the most birds in forest spaces at the end of the round. Our opponent already starts with 1 bird in a forest space. So they have 1 bird in a forest space, basically. And we'll see if that gets added to or not. So we now, whoops, didn't mean to knock the camera, just trying to move around here, and we're knocking things out of the way. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, we now get to start off our turn. We no longer have the wheat that we would have needed to play the sparrow, so I'm wondering, maybe we should try and get some food this round. Might be our best bet. Try and get some food so we can play stuff. And then we'll work on trying to buff up our cards a little bit. So we are going to go for that food. So we need to roll. I'm not going to do it from the back here. It was a little cumbersome to do it before there. We're just going to roll in. So we've got a caterpillar, a wheat, which we're going to take because we need that. 2 fish and a rat. We're going to take that wheat as our first one. And we're going to take We need to try and focus on birds in the forest. So maybe we'll take another caterpillar. We're going to need 2 more caterpillars by the end of this, so that's not super beneficial. But I think we're going to take another caterpillar. And then we will take another rat as well. Oh, sorry. We're going to take another rat from our red starts bonus here, which when activated, gain 1 dice from the bird feeder. I'm not just taking 3 things for no reason. There was a reason for that. And then when activated, roll all dice not in the bird feeder. Cash 1 rat for each rat rolled. We got 1 rat, so we get to cash 1 rat onto our owl for the end of the game. Each cashed token on a bird is worth 1 additional point at the end of the game, so that'll be nice. You're just trying to straighten things here. Whether it's actually straight or not, I'm not sure. It looks straight in my camera, so hopefully it's straight. And then that's going to be the end of our turn. So let's do the AI's first turn for this round. Round 2, they're going to gain a bird, and they're going to add 1 cube to their track. So they now have 2 birds in the forest. We're now tied for birds in the forest. Once again, though, nothing's changed. So there still aren't any birds with a wingspan of over 65. So they're just going to be drawing a face down card. I'm going to need to double check if this draw from not being able to draw a face up bird card also replenishes the bird track or not. I'm not 100% sure about that. I'll have to double check. But that's going to bring it back to us. We are going to play a bird, right? Or are we going to take a bird? We could take a bird and use some eggs to get additional birds. That's also something we could do, because I do want to take that yellow-billed cuckoo in order to get that into the forest. And I'd also like to maybe take the American kestrel and get it here so that we can start getting more eggs when we place stuff. So I think we're gonna go for drawing cards. We're going to take the yellow-billed cuckoo, and we're going to discard an egg in order to draw an additional card. So we're discarding an egg, and we're also going to take the kestrel. So we're going to add all of those into our hand. And we now have to activate the black-billed whistling duck's ability. When activated, discard 1 wheat to tuck 2 cards from the deck behind this card. That's pretty good. Tucked cards, like reserved tokens, give you 1 extra point at the end. Now, the sparrow's the only one that needs a wheat, and I don't think we're going to be playing it first. So we will discard our wheat in order to tuck 2 cards from the top of the deck underneath our duck. So we're just going to put those down there, and we're hopefully going to remember that those are there at the end of the game. And that is our turn. We've got 2 eggs going to the AI. They're gaining 2 eggs. And they have to discard a cube from the token. They're back down to 1 bird. Now, this is a weird way that it works for them, because obviously for us, when we put a bird onto the board, we can't take that bird off. Although there are some cards that it's like, if this bird is the rightmost bird, when it's activated, switch it to a different plane. So maybe it could be something like that is happening as far as these cubes go. I'm just trying to find some sort of justification for it. That's their turn. They got their 2 eggs. They discarded the cube from the bonus. So it's now going to come back to us, and we are going to play some birds. What are we playing first here? Maybe we go with the yellow bill first, because then anytime those pink cards get activated, that would be nice. Once between turns, when another player takes the lay eggs action, lay 1 egg on a bird with a nest. It's not too bad. We could also get this kestrel out. It's going to be one or the other pretty much. So I need to keep the rats for the kestrel. We're going to be taking up both caterpillars. So we're probably going to search for food next turn, which means I should probably put the cuckoo out so that we have more food options. But we might have to get some more cards before we do that. Might be a thing. So we're going to play a bird. We are going to use 2 caterpillars and a berry in order to place the yellow-billed cuckoo into the forest, and we also have to discard 1 egg in order to do that. So we now have 3 in our forest, which is good because it's going to get us those bonus points, which love me some bonus points. And then that's our turn. That's our turn. So we're going back to the AI, who is going to be gaining another 2 eggs. 2 more points for the AI. They are now up to 6 eggs total. But that's an easy turn for us. They would also discard a card, however they don't, or discard a cube, however they don't have any on the round track right now. So it just comes back to us. So the question is, do we want to go for food? Or, oh, I guess I need to replenish this, huh? Or do we want to go for some more birds? Oh, did I activate my power? What's this doing down here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know I drew a card. I discarded an egg to draw an additional card. Maybe I didn't take this one back. This is supposed to be here. What have I done this turn? I drew cards, discarded eggs. I gained food. Did I gain food this turn? I did gain food this turn, and I played. So I think that I just accidentally didn't take that one back at the end of the last round. I hope that's the case, and I'm not just taking an extra turn. Did I take... What did I do this round? Oh man, I forget. Did I have to take the duck before I played it? Did I take the duck before I played it? We started the round. We only started the round with the sparrow in our hand, so I must have drew a card in order to draw the duck. And then I would have placed the duck, and then I would have done another one. So I just didn't move the cube over. So we have done four turns, which I can verify by checking this. 1, 2, 3. No, 3. So maybe I just didn't take the cube off. We've only done 3 turns so far, which lines up with the other stuff that we've done. I am mighty confused. Maybe we did start the round with the duck. Uh-oh. That's not good. I literally just gave them 2 eggs, right? I gave them 2 eggs, removed the cube, said it was coming back to me, was debating what I could do, realized I had to refill the thing. So I haven't taken my turn yet, so we must be on turn 4. So I must not have put a cube back. I must not have put a cube back. I apologize if that's incorrect and I just completely messed that up, but It's not like I'm playing with anyone, so that's my own mistake. I apologize for that. Let's continue. Let's continue. So question is, what do we want to do? We could get some more eggs, which eventually we're going to need to place birds down. I do need more food in order to get these two down. I also need to try and get some more birds with low wingspans, because I haven't been getting any. I need more low wingspan birds. I need at least 6 of them in order to get my bonus 6 points. Less than 30. The house finch would be good. It can also go in any of the things, which is super beneficial. But it needs a berry and a wheat, which we don't have. So. I think we're going to take this turn to get some food. We're going to try and get some food anyway. Now, I don't necessarily know if I want those fish or not. I could take both those fish, and then maybe we can get the puffin next turn. That's 8 points, which is pretty good, and we can put them down here, so it'll be an automatic 2 draw. Plus, we get an extra bonus card for the puffin fish. But that's also a lot of resources. We could re-roll all the dice and try and get some of the other ones. 8 points is pretty good, though. 8 points is pretty good. So maybe we will take both those fish and try and get the puffin next turn. But knowing my luck, it's going to discard all the cards next turn. So maybe we should just try and focus on the cards that are in our hand. So I need caterpillars. I need 2 caterpillars and a wheat. So we're going to re-roll all of these since there's 2 fish in the bin here. And we got 1 caterpillar, so that's nice. So we're going to take a caterpillar and a wheat. I can also discard a card to get more food, but I don't really want to. I'm going to get stuff for this, so it's not that big of a deal. So caterpillar and a wheat we're taking. So that gives us enough to. We'll be able to get either of these guys onto our board. That doesn't do anything. Although it is a once between turns when another player takes the lay. Oh, right, when another player takes the lay egg, so it wouldn't do anything. So just the pink powers from when they get flipped on the AI's card. Gain 1 food from the bird feeder. We're going to take a berry and then roll all dice not in the bird feeder. Any rats are cached on this card. No rats. Okay, that is our 4th turn, since we figured that out. It's our 4th turn, right? Yeah, it's our 4th turn, okay. So now the AI's 4th turn. They are going to be drawing a bird card, which they can do because the red-breasted merganser has a wingspan of 78, which is higher than their 65 on their bonus. So they're going to be taking this guy here. It's going to be kept face up in their pile. Ooh, a peacock. Nope, not a peacock. Looks like a peacock, though. A purple gallinule. Don't know if I know what a gallinule is. It's worth 7 points. Pretty good. We have what we need to play it, too. It's not too bad. Okay. So, we are going to take our turn. Do I want to play one of the guys in my hand, or do I want to try and get some more birds? The house finch meets our bonus requirements. That gallinule is worth 7 points. 7 points. But when it's activated, all players draw a card, which I can only presume also means that the AI draws a card. So that's not the best. I could also go to the draw card and then use my wheat to tuck 2 cards, which would be an extra 2 points at the end of the game. But I think we're going to try and start setting up more eggs here, because we're going to need more eggs eventually so we can start placing more stuff. Question is, do we want to play the Kestrel or do we want to play the Sparrow? The Sparrow does meet our bonus requirements, so we'll have 2 of the, well, 4 minimum that we need, but preferably 6 by the end of the game. We could also play this Kestrel, which, like the Screeching Owl, when activated, we roll all dice not in the supply and any rats get cached onto the bird. But the Sparrow, the Sparrow allows us to get more eggs, so I think that's what we're going to go with. We're going to be placing a bird down. We're going to place the Sparrow on our first slot here. We're going to pay a caterpillar and a wheat. And that's our turn. That's it. That's our turn. So, go into the AI. We've got face down cards. So, like we were saying before, this is where the board is going to get reset here. So, all of these get discarded. They take a face down card, and then this all gets redone. And wow, that was helpful for us. Not only do both of those birds have very low costs, which I am a fan of, both those birds, oh no, not both of them. The kingbird doesn't, but the hummingbird meets my requirement, less than 30. I thought that was 28 on the kingbird, but it is 38, so that's not useful for us. What are we at? Birds in the forest. I'm currently still okay for that. I'm 2 over what they have, so I think we're going to win that one as well. That'll be nice. That's some extra points for us. I think I might try and take some birds. I think I'm going to take the kingbird and the ruby bird, the hummingbird, because those are both gonna, oh, I can only take one of them for now. I can only take one of them for now because I'm going to have to consume an egg in order to get rid of one of them, which I don't want to do. So we are... How do I do this? I think we draw the card. We're not going to be able to tuck for the whistling duck, but that's okay. We're going to take the hummingbird, not only because it's worth more points, apparently, but because it will satisfy the requirements for our bonus card. We're going to go with it. So we're going to take the hummingbird. We don't have a wheat in order to tuck 2 cards under here, so that's just going to be our turn. And there's another sparrow, even, that would meet the requirements for our bonus. That would be nice. 2 eggs and a bird and a cube onto the bonus track. So they now have 2, but we still have 3, so that's okay for us. Okay, and they get 2 eggs. So that's another 2 eggs going to our opponents. Alrighty, this is our last turn here. So, question is, do we play a bird or do we pick up that sparrow in hopes that it's not going to get reshuffled? Only 35% of the cards in the deck have a wingspan of under 30. I think maybe we should just play the bird so that we can start getting our eggs higher. I think that'll be beneficial. So we're going to play a bird. I have what I need, right? Yeah, I do. We're going to play a bird. I need these rats for the kestrel. Yeah, those other ones are fine. So we're going to get rid of our second rat. We only need 1 for the kestrel. So we're going to use a rat in order to play our hummingbird. And we're going to place it. Now here's the question. Do I place it on the egg spot or do I place it on the water spot? It'll guarantee 2 cards be drawn for us, which is nice, but I also want to try and start getting our eggs up. But if I put the cards, hold on, what do we got here? Berry, okay. I'm going to put it on the water space. So we need to discard an egg in order to place it there. I'm going to put it on the water space. And the reason I'm going to do that is because at the start of the next round, provided they don't get shuffled, I can draw that other sparrow, which will be part of our bonus. It'll give us 4. So we'll have at least the minimum score for our bonus. We'll only need 2 more to get the max score. But we can also draw the kingbird, which equally has an easy thing to place down. But we are going to have to waste a turn setting eggs, which I guess we would have to do anyway if we were playing this regardless. So that's our turn. That's our turn for the round. I think that's a good way to do it. Round 2, they're going to be taking something from the round track, which in this case is going to be a rat. And we get to activate all of our pink powers. So when another player takes the lay egg action, lay 1 egg on a bird with a nest. So we get a free egg. That's actually beneficial for us because now we can play that kingbird onto the plain space without having to waste an egg. We're going to place it just right onto our red start here. They have a nest. And that is it for round number 2. We now get to add up our bonus, and that is birds in forest spaces. Like we said here with round 2, birds in forest spaces, they start with 1 and they have 1 cube. So they have a total of 2 birds in the forest spaces. We have 3 birds in the forest spaces, which means we also win the bonus for that one. Not going to complain about that. So let's actually move all of our cubes off this time. And hopefully we don't end up with that issue again. We need to remove the card that says to be removed for round 2. We need to flip this over to round 3. Remove after round 2. Shuffle up the deck here. Gotta turn this to round 3. And I think we're good to go. I think we are good to go for round 3. So round 3 bonus is birds in plains. They start with 2 birds in plains. We currently only have 1, although we are working on putting more in there, so that's good for us. We get to start our turn, so we're going to start, like we said, we're going to draw those 2 birds. We're going to be taking this sparrow and the kingbird. And that is going to be our turn. We get to activate our hummingbird. Each player gains 1 food from the bird feeder, starting with the player of your choice. It'll be me. I guess we're going to take the fish, since that is what is there. So we're going to gain a fish. Now, I don't know if it would also allow them to take a food. I suppose it would. But because we don't have a card up, I don't know what the order would be. So maybe what we're going to do is we're just going to keep 1 dice out and we're going to roll these other 4 back into the thing. I'm not 100% sure how that would work for each player taking a die. There was nothing left in there, and there's no resource track like there is on the card to see what order they would take stuff in. So I think that's the best solution, is to just leave 1 out. We'll finish our turn before we restock. So that was for the hummingbird. We do not have a wheat to discard, unfortunately. Maybe I should have re-rolled that fish to try and get a wheat. And then we need a restock. We've got a chickadee. That's definitely towards my bonus. Gonna have to try and get that chickadee. Okay, first turn for the AI. Round 3, they're going to be drawing a bird card, and they gain a cube. So they're now on 3 for birds in the plains. That's not great. They're also going to be taking both of these, since both of them meet their goal requirement of over 65, and they're going to be taking the cormorant because it is what is worth the most points. So the cormorant is going to be added face up to their pile. The mallard is going to be discarded from the game. We now got to refresh. And it is our turn. That thrush is looking very appealing to me. It is right on the cusp of 30. It also gives us 7 points. 7 points. And that chickadee, that gives us all the birds we need for our bonus, provided we get them onto the board. So I think we're actually going to be taking... I think we're actually be taking another stab at drawing cards here. I know we said we were going to play stuff, but I don't want to risk my birds disappearing from me, because that would be unfortunate. So we're going to go with another draw 2 cards. We're going to be taking the thrush. We're going to be taking the Carolina chickadee. We now have all the cards we need for our bonus. So we're going to have to work on that. We now get to take an additional thing from the... Do I take a wheat and tuck it with the whistling duck? I should probably take a wheat and use it to play something, right? I need a caterpillar too, though. That's rough. I think we're going to take the caterpillar. Everything needs caterpillars. Literally everything I have needs a caterpillar in order to... So we'll take this one, because we could possibly get that wheat later. Or another caterpillar. Like I said, everything needs a caterpillar, so we might take another caterpillar. We're going to take the caterpillar. That's it for that. And I don't have a wheat for the duck, so that's that. We need to I keep hitting the camera when I go to move my feet. We're going to restock. We're going to readjust. Okay, hopefully everything is back the way it was before there. And that's our turn. So go into the AI. We've got a face down card. So they're going to be reshuffling it. Good thing that we took those bonuses. Good thing we took those bonuses. That could have ended up pretty rough for us. So these guys are all going to get discarded. They're going to be taking a face down card. They're also going to be losing a cube. So they're back to just having 2 in the plains. Not a bad thing. And then we have to refresh. A spoon bowl? The heck is a spoon bowl? Okay. 6 points is a lot if they get a draw card. So what do we got? I think we want to play some stuff. We want to try and beat them for birds in the plains. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our caterpillar. That's what we're going to do, right? Or do I do... we're going to do the kestrel first, I think. So we're going to use our caterpillar and a mouse in order to place the kestrel down, which we also need to discard an egg for. So we now have the kestrel on our board. We now have 2 plain birds. 1 more and we'll be over the AI. But that's all we got for the time being. We need to try and get those other birds out. We still have 3 birds we need to get out for our bonus. They're going to be taking a food from the bird feeder, starting with fish, which there is one, and then we're going to be able to activate our red powers. So they're taking a fish, And we get to lay 1 egg on a bird with a nest. That is very nice of the game to keep giving me these eggs. I was going to put a thing on the eggs in order to. I was going to put my turn for the eggs so we could get some eggs on our birds to play stuff, but now that we have that, I think we're just going to place a bird into the plains here. We're going to, can I get one of the, no, you go into the forest. I don't have enough eggs for you yet. And I don't have a caterpillar for you. So we're putting the kingbird down. Doesn't meet our requirements, but kind of sucks. But we're doing this for the bonus. We're doing this for the bonus. We're going to try and get some food next turn, probably. But we are going to use a berry in order to play our kingbird. And we need to discard 1 egg. We now have a 3rd bird in the plains here. So we're currently on top for the bonus as far as that's concerned. So that's not terrible. It's not terrible. We still have 2 fish left. We're definitely going to be getting some eggs on the next turn, though, because we're going to need them. They are gaining 2 eggs as well as adding a cube. So they're matching us at 3 now. And they're going to gain 2 eggs. Okay. What do we do? What do we do? I need food. I don't have the food that I need in order to play any of my cards, so I think we have to use this turn to get some food. One of those foods is going to be that caterpillar up there, since we need it. We also need a wheat, which is unfortunate, but we're going to take the caterpillar first and foremost. Then we're going to re-roll. We are going to re-roll everything before we start getting our other one here, as well as any additional ones. There, perfect. Our second one's going to be this wheat. We're going to take a wheat. It's exactly what I wanted. That makes my life easier. Excuse me. That makes my life easier. So that's our 2. I could also discard cards to take another one, but that's part of my bonus. That's part of my bonus. They're all part of my bonus. I don't want to discard any of them. So every bird that's up there is part of their bonus. So if they get a draw, that's going to be unfortunate. I'm not going to discard any cards to take another food. We gain another food though, so I'm going to take this berry. Oops. I'm going to take this berry. And then we get to roll all the dice outside, and we get to cash any rats. Whoop. Not a rat, a berry. So no rats for us. And that is our turn. We got some food. We can do things on the next turn, so that's nice. That's nice. That's a good thing. It's now the opponent's turn. And, oh, they're drawing a face down card. So they're unfortunately discarding all these cards that would have been beneficial to them. They're going to draw a face down card. We've got a blue bird, not a blue jay, but just a blue bird. Oh, there's the blue jay. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. All these birds have blue in their name. We got the blue-winged warbler, the blue jay, and the mountain bluebird. The warbler meets our bonus. Not that we're going to need it. We have all the cards in our hand already. This is our last turn for this round, so we need to play something in here in order to beat them, which I think we can do. Yeah, this guy here. This is why I wanted the wheat and the caterpillar. So we're going to be... Oh, but I don't have eggs. I don't have eggs. Oh, no. Oh, shit. I just dropped my hand. Well, damn, man. That fucking sucks. Here I was, all proud of myself for making this grand strategy, and I don't have any fucking eggs. I don't have any eggs. So I guess we just need to place for eggs, right? Place some eggs down. So we have 3, and we can discard any food to place an additional egg. So let's place those 3 first. I guess they can go on anything really, eh? So let's just spread them out a bit here. We'll put one on our red start since it's been getting all the eggs this game. We'll put one on our whistling duck since we've been using it quite a bit. And we'll give one to our sparrow, because why not? Now, do I want to get rid of any food? I could get rid of the fishes. I don't really need the fishes in order to do anything that's in my hand. So I think we're going to discard these 2 fish in order to put 2 more eggs onto our board. These I don't want to drop. They're going to go like all the fucking way across the room. We're going to put those onto our Kestel. Okay, we now get to go backwards. So this is a pink effect. We get to roll all the dice, not on the bird feeder. Oh, we got 2 rats. 2 rats. Cash. Oh, if any are rats, cash. Oh, we only get 1. That's okay. 1's better than none. So we get to cash a rat. And then we get to lay an egg on any of our birds. Won't complain about that. Additional eggs. We'll put it down on our hummingbird here. They've done a bit of work for us, so that's not too bad. Okay, final turn for the AI this round. They're gaining, oh, the luck, the luck. They have to discard a cube, and they're gaining 3 eggs, but they have to discard a cube. So cube is gone, but they get 3 eggs. So that does thankfully mean that we're going to win the bonus for this round. That's good. And that is the turn. So we just got to do our bonus, which is birds in the plains. We have 3. Their bonus starts them with 2 in round 3. So that means I am also winning this bonus round here. Won't complain about that. I'll take any additional points I can get because they've got quite a stockpile of cards. They've got quite a stockpile of cards. And we are heading into our last round. So, the last round bonus is, I believe that's wildlife, right? Is wildlife birds with eggs on them. Now, we need to switch this over to round 4. And they are going to be starting with wildlife birds with eggs. They're going to be starting with 3 wildlife birds with eggs. So they're definitely beating us. We only have 1 wildlife bird with eggs. We need to flip this around for round 4. We need to discard, remove after round 3. Shuffle up. And a new round is beginning. I don't know if we're going to get the bonus for this one. We'll try. I don't know if we're going to, though. What habitats are the guys in my hand here? One of them's a wildlife, but we'd have to find another one. We'll see how it goes. We only have 5 rounds here, so drawing is going to be a little tricky. We're going to start this round off, though, by playing one of our cards, since we need to try and get them down. So I need... Oh man, all 3. I need all 3 of these for my bonus, eh? Shoot. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. We're going to start by playing a bird down. We are going to play... Question is, where do I put it? If I put it up here, we can try and maximize the amount of food we're going to get. I'm going to be playing this guy here for sure. So we're going to be using a caterpillar and a wheat. And we're going to be playing our white-crowned sparrow. I just don't know where I want to place it. If I stay here, if I keep that there, we can discard cards to get more food. If I place it down here, we can start using eggs to get more cards, which currently we have a lot of eggs. So I could discard a bunch of eggs to get more cards, and then when I try to get food, I could discard those cards to get more food, which I then have a better chance of playing the cards that I need. So I think we're going to be placing it on the water track, and we need to discard one egg for that. So we'll get rid of the egg that's on our hummingbird here, and that's going to be our turn. I think this is going to work the way I want it to. I'm not 100% sure. They are gaining 3 eggs this first turn. They have a lot of eggs. They've got a lot of eggs. I'm going to try and line these up by 5 so it makes it easier to count at the end of the game. So that's 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. That's 5. Everything's getting pushed. Stop. Everything's getting pushed. Stop pushing eggs. Jeez. Okay. So they currently have 5, 10, 50, and 16. They currently have 16 additional points just from those eggs. It's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Okay, that's their turn. They gained 3 eggs. That's fine. It's okay. So, it's our turn. This is basically going to... Oh, this is going to be weird. So, I would have to place one here to get a bunch of cards by discarding my eggs. But I have to keep at least 4 eggs because I have 2 spaces. I have 2 birds that I need to put down, and they're going to need two things each. So I would be gaining 2 cards, and I'd only be able to get rid of 1 egg that I have currently. So I'd only be getting 3 cards total. That's not the best. It's not the best. Or the other option. What's the other option? If I get food, I'd be gaining 3. Decent odds there, but they still got to roll. So I don't know what I'm going to get off the roll. I'm just trying to think if I can do this. So if I draw cards, get rid of eggs, I need 2 turns to put things down, and I need a turn to place eggs. So I wouldn't be able to gain food and place eggs back down. So if I do this, I have to keep at least 4 eggs. I'm not going to get an egg bonus at the end of the game, basically, if I try and get these other 2 birds down by discarding cards for more food. But I would hit my bonus, so the question is, I guess I currently only have 5 eggs. I currently only have 5 eggs, so that would only be 5 points. I get 6 points for my bonus, so I think it makes more sense to try and get my bonus. So we're going to go for the 2 card draw. We are going to discard 1 egg so that we can get an additional card draw. Now, do I want to take any of the ones that are up here? I suppose it doesn't really matter, but I do also want to try, if I can, get some more birds that have a... Oh, but I'm not going to be putting eggs down. I'm not going to be putting eggs down, so I think they're going to win the bonus for this one. I think they're going to win the bonus for this one if this is the strategy I go with. But I want to try and complete my bonus. So we're not going to worry about, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. So we're just going to take these 3 here and add them to our hand. And then we activate our effects. If this bird is to the right of all other birds in its habitat, move it to another habitat. Do I have to? Do I have to move it to another habitat? I guess it doesn't say you may move it to another habitat. I guess I have to, so we'll shift it to up here, which at this point doesn't matter all that much. Each player gains 1 food from the bird feeder. Can I re-roll before taking one? They're all the same, so am I allowed to re-roll before I take one from the feeder, or is it just take one from the feeder? Because if I could re-roll, that would be great. The rule is you can re-roll if they're all the same. But I don't know. I'm going to say we have to take what's there. So I would take one, the opponent would take one, so we get a rat. Not really what I wanted, but that's fine. And then we could discard a wheat, which we don't have, so that's it for that. That's it for that. That is the end of our turn. We're going to our opponents. They are going to be drawing a face down card and adding a cube to the bonus track. Oh, I guess I should refill this first, even though they're about to all get discarded. That thing looks like a pterodactyl. Okay, so these all get discarded due to their card. They draw a face down card. I already put their cube on there. And then this gets restocked. A condor. Another owl. Okay, so we now need to get some food, right? We need to get some food. So we're going to food. We are going to re-roll everything first. We're going to hope for some decent rolls here. Some of that's okay. So let's see what we got here. These are the 2 I need to do. So we'll definitely take this because one of my birds needs a caterpillar or a wheat. So we could take either of them. So we're going to take the caterpillar. So the chickadee is taken care of. I need another caterpillar and 2 berries. So we're going to take a berry. And then we're going to discard these 3 cards to take 3 more food, thanks to this. And we're going to re-roll all the dice first because it's all fish. Perfect. We're taking that caterpillar. That's what we need. Okay, we're set. We're set. We have what we need to lay these 2 birds down. We have 4 eggs still. We have 2 turns left. I guess we can just take extra food. So we'll take wheat, I guess, and we'll take a rat. So wheat and a rat. Actually, you know what? We're going to take the caterpillar just in case some crazy thing comes out. And it's like, discard your opponent's caterpillar. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, now we have to go back. So we gain an additional thing. So we'll take the fish, I guess. And we get to roll all dice, not on the thing. We're just going to do this one at a time here so that we don't, well, tried not to hit my birds anyway. There's 1. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if we roll the rest. It's only 1. So we get to cash another rat onto our owl here. And then that is it for that turn. They're going to be gaining 3 eggs, and another cube is going on to their bonus, which they've just run away with that bonus at this point. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me now. I haven't been worried about it this entire round. I knew we weren't going to be able to get it. They're now at 19 eggs, so they have 19 points right now. It's pretty nuts. We are going to be playing a bird. We have to spend 2 eggs in order to play it. We are going to be using a caterpillar as well as 2 berries in order to play our hermit thrush in the forest up here. We're discarding 2 eggs. That's our turn. That's our turn. They are going to be drawing a card. Is there anything with over? Everything has over a wingspan. Okay, so they're drawing a card. All of these have a wingspan of over 65. The one that gives the most points is the Great Horned Owl, so that's going to be staying face up. 8 points on that one. That's pretty rough. Those guys to get discarded. And we're here in the final round. We're going to be placing another bird down. So we need to pay 2 eggs. And we are going to be using a caterpillar in order to play our Carolina chickadee into this final forest space over here. It's going to gain us an additional 2 points. It is the 6th card that we needed in order to meet our bonus requirement, so I am fine with that. The final round, they're going to be taking a food from the bird nest, and we get to activate all of our pink powers, so that's a nice final bonus. They're taking that. We've only got 2 when another player, so we get to lay an egg on a bird with a nest, so that's going to give us 1 additional point at least. That's nice. We'll put it up here on our red start since they've done a lot of work for us this game. And our other pink power, when another player, forest, gain 1 caterpillar from the supply. I guess we ended up with an extra caterpillar. That's fine. And that's it. That's it. That is the end of the game. So we now need to do the bonus, which the AI beat. The AI definitely beat us on that one. But we did the other 3, so that should probably make up for it, right? So we now need to score our end results, which they thankfully give a little sheet for. I'm going to do this off to the side here. To the best of my ability, anyway. Okay, so we're going to do ours first. So our bird cards, we have 4, 8, 2 and 3 is 13, 20, 22, 24, 26, 29, 34, 36, 40 points from our birds. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. 40 points from our birds. Our bonus card, we did indeed get 6 birds with a wingspan of 30 centimeters or less. We have the American redstart with a wingspan of 20 centimeters. We have the hermit thrush with a wingspan of 30 centimeters, right on the edge there. We have the Carolina chickadee with a wingspan of 20 centimeters. The white-crowned sparrow with a wingspan of 25 centimeters. The Baird's sparrow with a wingspan of 23 centimeters. And then our ruby-throated hummingbird with a wingspan of 10 centimeters for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total birds. So that's going to give us an additional 6 points. End of round goals. We beat all of them except for the final ones. So we have 4, 5, and 6. So that's a total of 15 points for our end of round goals. That's not too terrible. We only have 1 egg left, unfortunately, so only 1 point for our eggs. Food on cards. We've got 3 cached rats on 2 of our birds, so that's going to be 3 points. And we've got 2 cards tucked under our whistling duck down here, so that's going to be an additional 2 points from that. So that's going to give us a total of 55, 61, 62, 64, 67 total points for us. We now need to calculate our opponents. So we said that they were going to be gaining 3 points. We are playing on the easy difficulty, so we first of all need to count their face down cards. And then we'll do their face up cards in a second here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 face down cards. 8 times 3 is going to give us 24, I believe. So that is 24 points from their face down cards. We're now going to calculate up their total points from all of their face up cards. I think face down cards, 24 points. Face up cards, we got 4, 7, 10, 18 points from face up cards. Their bonus card, I don't know how many, they had 4 face up ones, so they would have been prioritizing Wingspans over 65. So they meet the minimum requirement for their first bonus there, so they're going to get 3 points for that bonus. Their end of round goals, they have 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm supposed to have an additional 4 points from this final one. I didn't count the final one. I was only counting my ones. End of round, so 4. So that's going to be 19 total. So that's actually going to put us at 71 points total. I totally forgot that last one. So they've got 1, 2, 3, and 7 for their bonuses. So that's a total of 13 for their bonuses. Now eggs, they definitely beat us on eggs. They have 19 eggs. 5, 10, 15, plus 4. 19 eggs they had at the end of the game. That's a lot of eggs. Food on cards, they don't have any. And then tucked cards, they don't have any. Oh, I guess the grayed out spot, it's saying that they don't get points from the bonus, but we're going to give them points from the bonus. Why not? Why wouldn't you? They're prioritizing their bonus. If they meet it, they should get the points for it. I'm okay giving them the points for that. That's fine. So they've got 24 plus 18. So that's 34 plus 8, 6, and 2. So that's 42. Plus 3 is 45. Plus 13 is 58. Plus 19, we've got 68 plus 9. That's going to be 70. So what did I say? 68 plus 9. That's going to be 72 and 7. 77. 77 total points for the AI. So they beat us by 6 points. I definitely think it was those eggs. They had a whole lot of eggs. That was a lot of eggs. Provided I did my math correctly. We have been beaten by the AI. On easy. We got beaten by the AI on easy. That's a pain. We just hit the threshold for not being able to color correct this, so I apologize that it's going to be a little yellow. I can't do anything about it at this point. I unfortunately do everything off my phone, and if videos go over an hour and a half, it doesn't allow me to color correct or edit them at all off of my phone. And I unfortunately don't have any editing software on my computer, so I can't color correct on my computer, unfortunately. So I apologize, it'll be a little yellow. It happens. Some of our videos have been like that. It's been very inconsistent. But that's it for Wingspan. Thank you guys very much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was a little rough here and there, but I think we pretty well did everything properly, with the exception of those handful of situational things that came up that I wasn't 100% sure about. But outside of that, you know, we did the best we could. I had a good time playing the solo mode. I think it's actually a well done solo mode. I can't even imagine playing on a higher difficulty at the moment. Maybe I'm not good at the game. Oh my God. I'm sure the more we play it, the better we'll get, the more familiar we get with the cards, stuff like that. If you guys have played Wingspan, let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. It's interesting to see what other people think about games, especially one that's so popular. I think this is one of the games that's in the top 100. I think last time I saw it, it was 52 or 42 when I was logging games. It's up there. It's a popular game. Even on Board Game Arena, it's listed as a popular game. So let me know what you guys think of it down below if you've played the game. If watching this has made you want to try the game, let me know that down below too. It's always interesting to see what kind of games people check out based on what we take a look at on the channel here. If you're over on Instagram, you can follow us at Board Games Are For Everybody over on Instagram. We just post photos of games that we pick up, as well as games that we're playing. Come on over, talk about games, have a good time. If you're over on Board Game Arena, you can send me a friend request at Games Are For Everybody. Just Games Are For Everybody on Board Game Arena. And we can play some games sometime. But yeah, that's it for Wingspan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I will see you all next time. Until then, just remember that board games are for everybody. And until then, peace.